जीतने वाले कुछ अलग चीजें नहीं करते, बल्कि वो चीजों को अलग तरीके से करते हैं। नमस्कार, welcome to PT Pointers, and in this video, we are going to cover major headlines of the Hindu, Indian Express, and Press Information Bureau. So, without wasting any time, let's start today's discussion. And our first headline is related to Global Stocktake, जिसका नया ड्राफ्ट रिलीज हो चुका है at the ongoing UN Climate Summit, जो कि दुबई में हो रही है. Now, what is Global Stocktake? So, friends, it is expected to take stock of the implementation of the Paris Agreement, assess the progress made towards its goal of preventing temperature increase, and guide countries in updating their stated commitments to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. And latest version of the global stocktake includes a clause committing all signatories to an orderly and just phase out of fossil fuels. Global stocktake also includes a clause calling for tripling renewable energy capacity globally by 2030 as compared to 2022 levels. And do you know, friends, during the summit, more than 20 countries have pledged to triple the global nuclear installed capacity by 2050. But India is not a part of the nuclear energy commitment. Now, recently, World Meteorological Organization released Global Climate 2011-2022, a decade of acceleration report, which documents how extreme events across the decade had devastating impacts, particularly on food security, displacement, and migration, hindering national development and progress towards the sustainable development goals. And as per the recent report, number of casualties from extreme events has declined, even though economic losses have increased. Public and private climate finance almost doubled between 2011 and 2020. And the report also emphasizes the need for much more ambitious climate action to try to limit global temperature rise to no more than 1.5 degrees Celsius above the pre-industrial era. And as per the report, heat wave caused the highest human casualties, and tropical cyclones inflicted the most economic damage, and glaciers thinned by approximately 1 meter per year. Now, recently, High Court ordered the Delhi government to increase the threshold income for availing of reservation under the economically weaker sections category in private schools to 5 lakh from current 1 lakh per annum. The court highlighted that threshold income of 1 lakh does not precisely reflect the economic hardships faced by families in the contemporary times, because on an average, the minimum wage of an unskilled laborer in the city is around 17,000 per month. And do you know, friends, under the Right to Education Act, 25% seats in private schools are reserved for candidates from the economically weaker sections category. Our next headline is related to Section 6A of the Citizenship Act 1955, and it is in the news because Chief Justice of India is heading a constitution bench and hearing series of petitions challenging the constitutionality of Section 6A of the Citizenship Act 1955, and under it, foreigners who had entered Assam before January 1st, 1966 and been ordinarily resident in the state would have all rights and obligations of the Indian citizens, but those who entered the state between January 1st, 1966 and March 25, 1971 would have the same rights and obligations, except that they would not be able to vote for 10 years. Now, recently, India extended a $250 million line of credit for modernization of agriculture in Kenya, and both the sides will carry out joint military exercises and will collaborate on counter-terror projects. And do you know, friends, India is the third largest trading partner of Kenya after China and UAE, and India-Kenya bilateral trade is more than $3 billion. Now recently, Intergovernmental Negotiating Committee under United Nations Environment Program met for its third round of negotiations to develop an international legally binding instrument to end plastic pollution worldwide, and under the United Nations Environment Assembly Resolution 5/14, the Intergovernmental Negotiating Committee is responsible for delivering a global plastic treaty by 2025. Our next headline is related to Global Positioning System, which was started in 1973 by US Department of Defense and launched the first satellite in 1978. The modern GPS satellite constellation consists of 24 satellites moving around the Earth in 6 orbits, and each satellite completes 2 orbits in a single day. And India launched its own Indian Regional Navigation Satellite System in 2006, and बाद में इसको Navigation with Indian Constellation और नाविक भी कहा गया. Its space segment consists of 7 satellites, 3 in geostationary orbits and 4 in geosynchronous orbits. And do you know, friends, India also operates the GPS-aided Geo-Augmented Navigation System, which is also known as गगन System, and इसको develop किया गया था ISRO and Airports Authority of India के द्वारा, and its primary purpose is safety of live civil aviation applications catering to the Indian airspace and for providing correction and integrity messages for GPS. Our next headline is related to Kiwi Bird, which cannot fly, and it is the symbol for uniqueness of New Zealand wildlife and value of natural heritage. And there are 5 types of kiwis, and these are brown kiwi, great spotted kiwi, little spotted kiwi, Rovi, and Tokeka. Our next headline is related to Riz, and it is in the news because the Oxford University Press has chosen Riz as its word of the year for 2023. Now, what does Riz mean? So, friends, Riz is defined as style, charm, attractiveness, and the ability to attract a romantic or sexual partner. The term is believed to be shortened version of the word charisma. Our next and last headline is related to PM Kisan Scheme, जो कि एक सेंट्रल सेक्टर स्कीम है, एंड इसको लॉन्च किया गया था 2019 में to supplement the financial needs of the land holding farmers. And इस स्कीम के अंतर्गत financial benefits of 6,000 per year in 3 equal installments is transferred into the bank accounts of the farmer families. And in this context, government has developed Kisani Mitra, which is a AI chatbot to address farmer queries in their own languages, and it is initially available in 5 languages, and these are English, Hindi, Odia, Tamil, and Bangla. And government has also developed the PM Kisan mobile app with feature of face authentication based eKYC. So with this, let's conclude our today's discussion. Thanks for listening, and for regular updates, you can follow us on various social media platforms.